What's up, everybody? Bloc Boi here, and today is the 7th of July. And I haven't done a Twitch stream in a few days, between celebrating 4th of July and just enjoying a little bit of time off after the grind, the absolutely grueling grind that was the end of June. Took a couple days off of streaming, so I apologize to anybody who missed me while I wasn't streaming on those regular scheduled times. But here I am back tonight. Same bat time, same bat channel. Or I guess that's same block time, same block channel. But anyhow, glad anybody who's in the room right now could join. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So I thought it might be fun to just do a few throwback clips that we can talk about, and then also use those opportunities to talk a little bit about strategy and get some feedback on what people's opinion is based on various playing levels in terms of the strategy proposed versus what they might do instead. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a few minutes, but the first one's going to be a clip of the Red Vault, and we're going to talk about a Red Vault discussion, how those events typically occur, and a few other things like that. So anyhow, I had been in the Discord lurking and saw a lot of discussion after the last event. People talking about how, you know, some of the events are discouraging for the average user because they're unobtainable. But I would like to use this as an opportunity to offer a different perspective, because I think that they do a really good job of offering a variety of things that are attainable for people who have been playing various lengths of time, and also people who put in various amounts of time per day. So it's all relative in what you can do. Every game, honestly, that I've ever played that I enjoyed, there was a certain degree of leveling up in it, where, you know, the game might not get really good until you can do this, 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 and this. And in this game, it's kind of the same, because once you build your HQ and start to construct user vaults and do a few of those things like that, until you begin to do that, you might not have as much fun playing the game, because you're not getting the same rewards in return that you will once you put in enough time to where you get to that level. So anyhow, I think a couple people are in here now. Who do we got? Anakura, what's up? What's up? Thanks for joining. We got Vibe X Gavin, what's up, Vibe? Thanks for joining. Corey C, what's up? Corlethiel, what's up? With the rainbow, Kirby, I love that. Is it frozen? I hope not. What's up, Beats? I'm glad you could join. Is it frozen right now? I hope not. So if it is, it's definitely like just straight up, I need a new computer, and that's all there is to it. I did actually upgrade from the high speed to the highest speed recently, and I thought that might be enough to I actually if it's freezing, it's my fault. I used to stream in 720, and now I'm trying to stream in 1080, and it might be the increased bandwidth. I thought I could afford it due to the upgrade that I just did, but wasn't referencing the average user. Even most active users were unable to enjoy that event. Yeah, it was short, you know, it was short, but also, like, I guess, let me provide some context. Let me tell you guys a short little story about when I started playing the game. So the first event ever was the Halloween event. And the Halloween event came a few months into beta, when Android users had already been playing for a while, and iOS users had just begun. Okay, so I was in at basically the infancy of the iOS beta, but I wasn't in as early as the Android players. So the Android players had months more to play, and some of them got the really cool stuff from that October event. So that was my first time experiencing that kind of like FOMO stuff, right? Like, hey, these guys have been playing, they got all the cool stuff, but I just got this one blueprint and not even enough stuff to make it, right? But I didn't really know what the game was even about, and it was cool because I was just happy to be earning crypto. So anyhow, fast forward through at least, I mean, I don't know what version of the game that we're on, but there's been a ton of changes since it was just, you know, you grab a key, you grab a vault. There's some that are blue, there's a couple that are green. I didn't even know where any of the, I mean, like, this was also interesting and new. It was just exciting to play. But anyhow, Corlethiel, I wasn't specifically talking about you, but you were one of the people whose comments I did read. And, you know, I just feel like there's always an alternative perspective, and if you ever feel like the game isn't fair, just think about the fact that they do make changes regularly to try to balance it for all players. And you're never going to have a game that's truly fair, because the people who play the most and dedicate the most time are always going to be, you know, to some degree more successful, able to do different things in the game. I used to get so mad in college playing Call of Duty because I didn't have the hours that some of my friends had to put in. And so they would just be higher level of across the board, better weapons, better this, better that, better attachments, all this stuff. And they just kick your butt. And you're like, man, I just want to put in the time to work my way up to where I can compete with them. So I guess that's just my perspective. And I'm not trying to, you know, say that anybody's not able to validly express any opinion that they have about the game. All I'm trying to do is provide a counter perspective that might be, I don't know, I've been through all of the updates in the game, as far as I know. There may have been one before iOS, you know, beta existed, so maybe I haven't been through all of the updates, but I can't imagine the game in a more basic, rudimentary version than when I first started playing. But, anywho's in. Okay, working fine. Bloc Boi is just an image. Okay, cool. Yeah, so anyhow, I don't have a ton of video footage to share today, so I just threw it. I love the, oh, here he is. I get confused when I look at the screen. The Bloc Boi, QB. You know, hopefully one day achievable in the game. Whitmore Sycamores in the house. What's up? Thanks for joining. Pull through nearly 12 hours in a game should be enough, given others only put in a few hours. In terms of getting the materials for that, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. And I don't want to focus too much attention just on that specific event, but I do want to talk about some things in general. So, you know, that event included a red vault. There's been multiple red vaults throughout the game. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. So let's watch the video of me opening the red vault from the USA QB event for Independence Day that was at the Walt Disney Concert Hall downtown LA. And before I go to this video, actually, I do want to say a couple other things, because this actually, I said actually twice in the same sentence. This was a very serendipitous moment within the game, because it was kind of like, well, let me just explain it. So the first encounter I had was with Mom Loves You, and for those of you that have been following my Twitch, you'll probably recall when that happened back when I picked up the Blockmobile after I had all this stuff put on it. She saw me in the wild. That was my first experience of like running into an actual hunter. But then as the game gets more and more popular, so she's like another local OG in the game in my area. Now, over the months though, there's been like just so many new user vaults popping up, and since the update where the name is included in there, you get to kind of see who all these people are. So there's a guy that, a local guy, and I won't mention specifically, but if he wants to, well, I guess it doesn't matter. He's one of the guys that opened. I won't say his name if he doesn't want to. Anyways, if he wants to mention in the Discord that he was one of the guys. So anyhow, there's two particular names that are prevalent in the same stomping grounds that I put my stuff in. User vaults and like my primary hunting grounds right around here. So I'm assuming that they're local, or, you know, at least in the area. So anyhow, see these guys' names all the time. And then one of them hits me up in the Discord, and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I came across your YouTube, started watching your videos, you know, I just want to introduce myself. He's like, I hit your vaults all the time, and here's my in-game name, whatever. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, your vaults are like right next to mine. I said, I hit yours every day too. Anyways, fast forward to going to the red vault, and I had been, obviously, on Discord, if you were kind of tuning in, and making a plan to try to maximize participation amongst Los Angeles coin world hunters, coin hunt worlders. So anyhow, the plan was that I would open the vault at a specified time, so that there was a known beginning and end to the 3 hours that the red vault would exist, and then trying to maximize 3 additional hours for the yellow vault to exist once it downgraded to yellow, because it was a green vault to start with, and then once it was done, it would go back to green. So anyhow, let people know, you know, talk to Mom Loves You, direct message a few people that I knew were local hunters, and as it turned out, we were able to kind of coordinate with these two guys. So myself, Princess Hyena, and the two of them met up at the red vault, and we all opened it. And we all got it right, and it was really kind of crazy, and it was a little bit intense. As you guys probably know, if you ever have tried to Google an answer, or Google a question to obtain an answer to one of the trivia questions, it can be really hit or miss, because some of the questions are phrased in such a way or include details that make it really counterintuitive to search, or you won't like be able to read it verbatim and get a result back that makes sense. So anyhow, mine was, well, let me show you. Mine was this.
They're just gonna come here on their own.
I think they're just
Okay.
gonna come.
So,
So, there it is. You want to get your Google ready?
get it in there. Probably could have cut out a couple extra seconds.
So
That.
you're gonna do like a keyword search?
There it goes. So my question is, you know,
All right.
show celebrity.
Entertainment,
and
celebrity,
it's,
science. Let's
you
do
know,
celebrity.
who did Ashley Judd
Okay, here we go.
divorce in 2013? Which race car driver?
Ashley Judd
Announced her
divorced
divorce.
which race car driver
The answer
in
is Dario
2013?
Franchitti. And that was my question.
Dario Franchitti.
It was pretty easy.
Answer.
Lock it in.
Yep.
And so, okay, so here's the payout. For compare and contrast reasons, I want to just point out what the actual vault value is too. So in Bitcoin, it is 298,800 Satoshi. So not bad. Price was probably around, I don't know, 30 something. And then there's the beautiful, the architecture of this building is amazing. It's like sculpted and very svelte and swoopy and neat. So that's the red vault. Okay, and I think that's the end. I tweeted out. I found Bitcoin, and here it was embarrassing. I didn't even realize it, but it was kind of, you know, you get excited, and I was trying to hurry because I was the first one to go. But I spelled, what did I write? Comser Hall. I found Bitcoin in a red vault at the Walt Disney Comser Hall. I couldn't even have said Comer Hall, like it was like a dining hall. But anyhow, so I got it. Princess Hyenas was pretty easy. What was hers? It said, from what movie is the quote? And something, tonight we die, and tomorrow we give them hell. Something, I forget exactly what the quote was, but it's from the movie Gladiator, I believe. I might have completely messed that up. I don't know. But then, the one player who met with us, I'm going to throw you guys out there, man. These guys are amazing. So it's Art and Roman. So Art went third, and his was a really weird question. And so we all kind of like were searching, but not finding anything that was helpful. Oh, and I got 500 resin in the cowboy hat. So it's going to replay. So I'll finish the story and then I'll go to the next one. But so Art, his was something insane. The question was phrased in such an impossible way. We all tried to kind of like do it. I'm looking through the information. It's like obviously something related to what the question was about, but not anything that could elicit the answer. And I'll catch up to you guys in a second.
Entertainment,
and then
science. Let's do celebrity.
he's like running out of time, and I know that feeling. I felt that way in
Ashley
Hawaii
Judd
with the first purple
divorced
question
which
when I ran
race
out of
car
time, and it
driver
was, like,
in
not 100%
2013?
Sure. So anyhow, he just like boom, he just went for one, and it was right. And he just went for one, and like none of us had anything to offer him, and I felt so bad because I could kind of see he was getting nervous and his hand was shaking a little bit. And he went in for it, and just boom, and he got it right. And so that was like, yes, we got so excited, so pumped. And then Roman was the other player. So we were all, for a minute, the four of us were like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the U.S. leaderboards, obviously because getting that red $100 vault was a big deal. And so back to the discussion about it. Let me catch up for a second. Gee, now I got, where are we, people? But anyhow, it was awesome. All four of us got it. And the coolest thing about it was Roman. So the two of them each only had one red key. And I also know what that feels like because I had one purple key to open the purple vault in Hawaii. And so if either of them had gotten it wrong, there was no second chance. So it was so cool to see all of us get it right. But not only did we all get it right, but Roman's returned a red key to him when he got it right. So he stayed at one red key and got the red vault. Such a great experience. Where were we? Less than 200 were printed. Over 4,000 players. To what? Less than half a percentage point. Removing Bloc Boi, just an image, working fine, yo-yo. Sounds like casuals versus hardcores in the topic. Perhaps. hour of effort just feels like it is. All right, I got it. So anyhow, I want to talk to a little bit about how you're gonna hate the legendary QBs. So somebody said, it's so funny you said that, Beats. Somebody had said something along the lines of, the pirate Captain QB cost 2 red keys, and it was just like almost utterly inconceivable to spend that much when it's like, yeah, that's 2 red vaults in the game, that's 2 special events. But you also have to understand that it's like, it's different strokes for different folks. You're going to play at a different level, you're going to play in a different area, and you're going to save stuff up,
your Google ready?
In a different way than some people are going to do. Some people are willing to like grind and play hard for like months and months and months and months and months just to pile on all of their leaderboards all at once in 1 month. And try to get it on the globals. And I've seen people do it and fail to reach the globals. I've seen people do it and masterfully maneuver the points at the last possible second. It's been
in 2013.
Marlov mentioned, he said, wow, Bloc Boi, when you look at the historical global leaderboards, you're the only person that you see up there every month. And I don't get first every month, and not everybody's going to be able to play like that. But that's what I'm chasing, and other people can chase it. Casuals can play and just get a couple bucks. I mean, I know people that use this game while they're on public transportation going to and from work, and more than pay for their local bus fare. So, to each their own. And I'm going to keep chasing crazy stuff. And so, anyways, Beats, back to what you said. I wanted to respond to that person and say, just wait until you see me or one of the other people who are trying to save up and go for the legendary. Wait till you see us spend 2 purple keys to get that blueprint, which I will gladly do. I've already disclosed that that's actually my goal. And, I'm kind of a full disclosure player because I share my screen in game while I'm playing. And it's pretty obvious you see how many red keys I have, right? So are there people ahead of me? Absolutely. There are several purple keys that already exist in the game, and those people are probably stacking up their reds on top. I'm spending mine. I wanted the Pirate Captain QB. I wanted to be, I wanted to participate and be able to open the red vault. So I'm doing everything I can, and, some other local players that have been playing in LA did it. And so the final thing I would like to say, though, about the red vault as a thing is that not all events are meant to be completed by everybody, and some of them aren't completed at all. So I mentioned that the Halloween, I don't think I finished that story. Halloween event was the first one that I was involved in, and nobody completed it. So nobody got it. We didn't do it, right? It was a floating vault event, and we just didn't complete it. So this upcoming Halloween is going to be double the whatever it was, because I guess they said it carries over. I believe that was the last thing that was mentioned, was that if a event goes incomplete, and just like the blueprints, if they're not collected, the next year you get a chance to do it. So if you're holding out on footballs, don't want to sell, don't want to buy in the marketplace, just wait until some more footballs come back around next year. Okay, now I want to quickly share something else that's really fun. So on that note of casuals versus hardcore, I think that it's fair for me to, this isn't me tooting my own horn, it's just me being honest. I'm probably one of the more legendary players in the game, and getting the purple
celebrity
vault,
science. Let's do celebrity.
And the things that came along with that were kind of feathers in my cap to
Ashley Judd divorced which race car driver in 2013?
Something other than just the fact that I was on top of a leaderboard. So the purple vault.
Yep.
In-game capture is next. So this didn't make it into the cut of my purple vault video. And hopefully there's another version of it someday. But again, I didn't make that. Where are we at here? I called that both. Here we go. Alright, so here. And then I just threw, this is just a neat video from the purple vault. So purple vault was on the beach. Had to fly to Hawaii to get it. It was the first purple vault ever in the game, and so here it was. If you've seen the video, you can watch the video where the first question I got wrong. So it said, how long did it take for the 2021 Hawaii floating vault to be open? Okay, now the correct answer is probably a lot less than you'd think. The options are 4 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour and 3 minutes. So the vault had to have 100 red keys placed into it. Okay, and those 100 people each got, I don't remember what it was. 100, was it 100? I think it was, I don't know, red vault? Did you get $100 in crypto? 100 people got 100? Sounds right, but the answer Lock it in. What am I? Yeah. Okay. So for comparison's sake, I showed you how many Satoshi I got in Bitcoin, but look at, so this is $1,000, but Ethereum was high at the time. So somebody do this calculation for me if you don't mind. When the purple vault event was 258 or something like that for $1,000. So I got it when Ethereum was up, and then so here's going to be a kind of a live shot of on the beach. So this is right actually next to where we were. Sorry, this rather. I just thought it was neat when all the bikes were kind of cruising along. But in this photo is where we're actually at on the beach, and you can kind of see Diamond Head in the background right there. But so here's me in my chill QB get up that I did the Purple Vault event in, throwing out the aloha, the chill QB chill hand gesture. So there it is. So then you're thinking, okay, $1,000. I mean, and the story goes, if you haven't watched the original video, I'll try to link it at the end of this one when I upload it. But if you haven't seen the original video, I get a question in it, and something happened in the game where it said I was wrong, even though I was right. Like, it was just a weird thing, and we had to sit at the beach for a long time and wait for it to get fixed, and the key was returned to my inventory, and then I went again, and that was the question that I got. And then after I went, Princess Hyena went, because since she referred me, when I made my purple key, she got a purple key, so she opened it, got it right as well, and that was the purple key event. So yeah, different things, but keep in mind this too. So this was in May. I've been playing the game for many months, right? Many months. Had, I think, already established myself as #1. For a while I was #2. I mean, obviously I worked my way up through the ranks, but like I was #2 for a while because whoever was one was well ahead of me at that point. But yeah, so it's like, you know, this type of achievement is not meant to be possible by many people, right? And when I went to Vegas to do the Coin Hunt World meet and greet with Cuckoo Puffs, one of the things that he talked about was, you know, there was only a couple people in the game who even had enough keys to make a purple and be able to do that, and none of them were in Hawaii. And, you know, there was a discussion between him and Illusion Weaver where they weren't even sure that anybody was going to complete it, but they had faith that somebody would give it a shot. And they did that event, and it reached out and touched me, and I went out there and I did it. So I hope that that's cool for the community rather than discouraging. And anyhow, so what are we doing here? Frank Garrett? Yeah, exactly the architect that designed that amazing concert hall. On my command, unleash hell. Correct. That was the question. Tonight we dine, tomorrow we may die. Were they the same movie, though? Crashman, thanks for joining. I just saw your name. So sorry if I'm way behind on the chat. Let me try to catch up. Can you mute the video audio? This is... Oh, dang it. Did I do that again? And it took me an hour to even... No, oops, that's me. Hold on. What's not muted? I'm glad the resources worked out the way they did in my area. Got to check out new areas and gave me some good direction on where I need to drop some UV. Yeah, that's the other thing I want to talk about, actually. So here, let me go back and just get this video out of here. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, so UVs. I did also want to talk about UVs, but let me, how much? Gotta mute the audio. Definitely a tough event for more suburban and rural players. Definitely the most played in 2 days. Ended at 3 in football. As a journey was fun though. You know, the thing that I'm curious. Okay, so people who like were grinding and going for footballs and quickly realized, like I realized immediately. I mean, I've played this game long enough to feel what the drop rates are like. Okay, and they don't always get it right in terms of like, you know, like making it easy per se, and I'm glad they don't, actually. I think everything should be more exclusive. I think that sometimes, you know, maybe you do have to collect over 2, you know, annual reoccurring events to get enough resources to make it, you know what I'm saying? Some of it has to be hard. Some of the difficulty of like in the rarity of the items, obviously the drop rate corresponds to that. I think that where they kind of may have missed the mark with this one is the duration of the events. I think that people were under the impression that they were getting 3 days, and then they quickly realized that it spanned over 3 days, but because it's universal time code, it's only 48 hours, which was short. I think it also could have just been both events are simultaneous. We're each given 4 days, and we each have a holiday in there, so one of those days is like a holiday. If you want to do the holiday, you do the holiday. If not, you know what I mean? So I know I was doing some hunts on the 4th, so it's like, anyways, pick your poison, how much you want to be busy. But if each of us had the same 4 days and a holiday in there in twice as much time, a lot more people would have gotten it, but we're nitpicking. So what I would be more interested to hear are those stories where people who turned their hunting up considerably in an attempt to get the QB, how much more crypto did you make? Where are those stories where people are like, well, I had to clear out my town and the town next to me and whatever, and it's like, cool, was it fun? Did you explore some new areas in surrounding cities? Did you, see something that you were like, oh, I kind of always wondered where that was or whatever? Because I know I find moments all the time while playing this game where it's, figuring out a new way to get somewhere, or realizing like how 2 different areas of the city connect with a road where you're like, oh, normally I would go this way, but I could just take this all the way down. I don't know. Curious. F must have been just under 4K. Yeah, so Annika, did you do some quick math for me? Thank you. Let's get it back up there. Bummer timing, because, anyways, I'm not complaining, but it's funny to play that game and look at what the value of things that you collected were in terms of at that time versus what they're worth right now. I have no doubts, though, that same $1,000 in Ethereum that I grabbed in Hawaii will be worth well over that original amount. And, my strategy is just to hold anyway. So the day you became a legend, was that, I like to think that I was kind of legendary already, but that definitely made it like, there was a specific valiant act that could be connected to my folklore legendary status. I don't know, like maybe it was just in my head, but I was putting in work for a hot minute. But thank you. What's the shaka? Oh yeah, the shaka, is that? Yeah, that's the that Polynesian, like, they I would love to learn that. It's actually, is that the shaka? Or is that the haka? I don't know. Mute requests was the red vault audio. What? I hope. What was said? I try to I always, every time I do this, there's just one little thing, man. I swear. I get it. This all looks legit, right? I am so novice, and it's annoying because like every single time there will be one thing I don't do. I had the GoPro video of like the live, it's like outside the vehicle, road, noises, cars, wind, all this noise, and I normally, when I export, put the video of the accompanying, I put the accompanying background videos on mute so that when I export there is no volume. But if I don't specifically do that and I export it after I edit it, it's a process. Anyways, so that whole time, the Red Vault video, we were like, yo. Anyways, all you probably heard is me and Princess Hyena talking about my vault, probably. I hope. We didn't say anything wild. It's good now. Rudy Styles, oddly enough, you likely would have experienced much the same at half difficulty, but also seen that you can complete it if you explore even further. Yeah, exploration. I was hunting downtown pretty hard at the end of June just because the competition was so wild. So there's like my normal stomping grounds, which, by the way, you will all find out that over time, your normal stomping grounds, if you play this game and follow some of the strategies that I recommend, will do nothing but increase in vault density over time. So, what I would recommend to people who have not a lot of stuff to hunt, just get everything that there is within reason. Get everything that you can within reason. If that just means that, I go in my town to this place and this place, and there's 3 keys and 2 blue vaults. Cool. That's exactly how I played for the first, I don't even know how long. It was a while. And start there. But anyhow, 35 for that event versus 10 on a usual week. Wow. So that's what I'm talking about. Captain Spalding. Hey, Captain. $35 for that event versus 10 on a usual week. So that's pretty solid. I mean, like, and the cool thing is that so many people are, like, I've talked to people who, you know, travel for work, and so they're able to hunt different areas or just do different things, or people who, like, play. There was somebody, I can't remember who it was, but there was a couple, and they play the game while they take walks, and that they collectively had lost a bunch of weight, and that they make, you know, X amount of dollars collectively on average per walk. And I was just like, if somebody told you a year ago that, like, hey dude, you're going to start taking walks in 2021 and you're going to get paid to do it, you're going to lose a bunch of weight, you're going to feel great, and you're going to play a fun game, and you're going to spend some time with your spouse, and you guys are going to bond over, you know, this thing, you'd be like, oh, that sounds like a cool thing. You wouldn't guess it was a video game that's free. Whitmore Sycamore said, I'm going to be honest, once I heard what the drop rates were, I didn't even try. I was in a rural area, and it just wasn't going to happen. Right. Indeed. The funny thing, during the event, I wasn't even watching the crypto or resin I accumulated. I was totally concerned about the footballs. That's so funny. I was doing the same thing. And I'm not going to lie. I kind of like, I'm not going to say that. I'll say it, whatever. I mean, I'll beat myself up. I'm my own worst critic. Everybody is. But so me and 2 other people were all hunting together, getting footballs and all the materials. And just grinding, right? And it was like we were playing for a while, and we were just kind of going for it. And we were all getting close, but I think I might have had the best luck with footballs. Actually, for the longest time, my buddy had the best luck with footballs, but he didn't have the blueprint. I got the blueprint pretty early. But anyways, we're hunting. We're just kind of getting tired and getting a little bit discouraged, you know, because it's like, dang, I thought we might be able to go get it and just get everything that's available and get it in that one session. And it was taking, you know, as everybody quickly realized, a lot longer than I had originally imagined. And so we stopped and, like, pulled into, like, Arby's or something random, because we were all like, oh my god, I gotta eat something. Like, let's just get this. So we stopped, grabbed Arby's, went through the drive-thru, sat there, ate it real quick, and then rolled out. So that whole pit stop, or that whole detour, took 10 minutes maybe. And then one friend, like, tapped out. He's like, all right, I'm done. I'll just, you know, I'll get the rest later, whatever. And then I kept going on. And then so when I got enough, I immediately went to the print shop. Nobody had done it. I printed mine. And mine had about 3 minutes left, and the first person had printed. So once again, I was like so close, but didn't quite get first print. And I couldn't have kept going if I hadn't eaten, because I was just, like, starving. But it's funny to think, like, oh, you know, if I could just have powered through a little bit longer, I might have gotten it in the next couple vaults and been able to print it sooner. But whatevs. It's fun, and I too got a bunch of crypto. So, where were we? You told me you thought the resources were dropping more noticeably from user vaults. Did I told you that? That's a thing. That's a reality. Haka is Maori. Shaka is this. Oh, thanks. Thank you. The Red Vault audio was just some noise in the background when you were talking. Okay. Same here, crash. I nearly threw my phone out the window when I got my 7th cowboy hat drop in a row. Yeah, the cowboy hats were coming in fierce. I know the feeling, though. UV and green vaults were football dispensers. Yeah. I mean, so I think it really just depends, Beats. A lot of people got different types of drop rates. I mean, anything, obviously, that's random, there's going to be kind of somewhat of a randomized dispersion of, like, favorable to unfavorable drop rates. You know? So some people probably crushed it and got a good, you know what I mean? Like, it would be interesting if, again, there were stats for everything. I want to know stats for everything. And Akura said, my girlfriend and I did a few very long hunts over the course of the 2 days. She ended with about half as many footballs as I did. Yeah, and so if you hunted all together at the same time, obviously, just comparing the two of you, one of you had a much more favorable, you know, drop rate than the other. You spent 1,000 footballs on the QB. Care to say how many you have now? Me? had 3 times as many hats as footballs by the end. I don't know how many footballs I have right now, but I know I have at least enough for like another one. I think. Or like just short of another one. I don't know. So, where are we? Vaults, vaults, and more vaults. So, I'm finally caught up. You have 200 footballs after printing the QB. And an extra 1,800 hats. Yeah, I think I have like, I don't know, somewhere around 1,000 footballs and 3,500 hats, something like that. I'll probably sell some. I might buy some. I don't even know. I have no idea. I can't wait until the marketplace opens. I'm just going to like do a ton of random stuff. Sell some QBs, sell this, sell that, sell resources, just see what happens. I'm going to buy some stuff. I don't know. I want to see what other people are selling. There's only a handful of things that I don't have in the game. Should be fun. But dang hats. You get an extra 1,800. That's so crazy. So one other quick thing that I did want to talk about, because here's the thing, guys. This last few minutes of conversation is going to be boring unless you participate. So I just want to talk about user vaults, and you guys can interject some user vault related responses, because I want to be able to grab this little chunk of this from the end of this video and make it its own standalone little user vault discussion video, because I see discussions being had in the Discord where some players don't know what's going on or don't know the protocol, or people are like messing up and like, oh, now I got to build it. So give me like 3 minutes. Here's a quick overview on user vaults. Okay, so obviously once you establish your HQ, you unlock up to 10 user vaults using a green key for each space. Once you unlock those spaces, they're unlocked forever. If ever down the road you destroy your HQ, you don't use your spaces and you don't lose the user vaults that you may have already constructed or placed in the meantime. You're just moving your HQ. Your HQ is the receptacle through which you access your user vaults, but you don't do anything to your user vaults just by simply destroying and relocating your HQ. So, and then eventually, obviously, the update's going to come where you might not have to do that anymore, because there's going to be like a deployable bivouac scenario where you can access stuff that you'd normally get in your HQ through another means. But anyhow, so back to the user vaults. So once you unlock these slots, which you can do all 10 at once if you want, and have them all unlocked so that as you're out and about, you can place up to all 10 of those, right? But obviously following the considerations that you must be within in order to place them. Otherwise you'll get an error and it'll say it's too close. So you got to be 100 meters from another user vault, 50 meters from a key box. Okay, but one of the really important and most critical factors that a lot of people overlook or don't realize in the beginning is that if you place your user vault too close to an existing blue vault, one that's just a normal standard blue vault that was populated by the developers, not a user vault that was placed by somebody else, if you place your requested user vault spot too close to a regular blue vault, it will take over that vault if it's approved. Okay, so that's something that people do that's discouraging to everybody in the local area for several reasons. The first one is that, one, you want to see user vaults add to the density of the area where they're placed, right? So not to take away. So one, if you place it just far enough away, the one that you didn't take over still exists, and the one that you place is going to exist as soon as it has enough resin, which is another important point. When you place it and it replaces the existing one, it takes it off the board until it gets full of 10,000 resin and an additional hour to construct the vault before it returns to the board. So in one scenario, you're adding a vault to an empty space to add to the density of the area, and in the other scenario, you're placing it too close to one that already exists and taking it out of play for a little while. So if you're, imagine, in an area that doesn't have a lot of vaults, and you see one day you come out and 4 or 5 of them have been replaced by flags, meaning somebody requested that they want those spaces rather than putting those 5 in addition to the 5 that they requested on top of. Okay, so the most important thing that you can do first and foremost when you do add user vaults to the game is to add to the density, add to the ones, do not put them too close, and then also build up your typical hunting grounds. So whatever your normal patterns of life are, whatever your most frequently hunted areas are, place those there first. It's too easy. Alright, so that was probably boring to the advanced players, but I can grab all that and throw it in a little informative video, and if somebody wants to just click on it and hear a quick discussion about user vaults, I think I got most of the basics, but what did anybody add to that question? The ability to destroy a vault is killing me. So that's another good point. Thank you for bringing that up. One of the things that people also don't realize is that when you place a vault and you request a user vault and the flag is planted, but the team has not yet reviewed and either denied or accepted that request, you can destroy that placement. Okay? So if it gets to the point, though, where they say, yes, you can go ahead and do that, and it turns into a bulldozer waiting for resin, you can't destroy that bulldozer to move that user vault until it gets all 10,000 resin that it needs. So I think that's what Whitmore Sycamore was getting at, but keep that in mind. Make sure that it's the right place. Make sure that you're adding to the board. And, you know, if you realize, which I've actually done, that like, hey, you know what, that's just a weird placement, I'm going to destroy it before, like, after you set it, you look at the map or zoom out or something and see that it doesn't quite fit, you know, you can destroy it before it gets accepted. Then it's like you're stuck and you end up spending the 10,000 resin twice. You still get all the leaderboard points for filling it the second time, but it's kind of, you know, counterintuitive. I would rather be filling somebody else's vacant user vault and, again, adding to the density of the map versus moving one of mine. But having said that, though, I have moved several after you get enough data to see that they're underperforming. And where I move them to, they're doing much better. So, you know, the return is almost immediate once you choose a location that it is good, when you realize that you put one somewhere that just isn't really getting much traffic. And then Squeamy said, unless it's a great spot, in which case take over the regular blue vault, in my opinion. So here's where I would agree to an extent, Squeamy. If there's a good location, being right next to it is also a good location. And being on the other side of it is also a good location. So unless there's already a great location vault and another great location vault and another great location vault all in a row, where you can't fit anything in between, which, by the way, the map as the developers populated it isn't really like that. They designed it so that user vaults can be placed in between. Yes. What I would say, and this is the perfect segue, thank you, is that start taking over vaults when adding to the immediate area is no longer feasible. And some people, yeah, you know what, maybe you could have snuck one more in or two more in and you took one over. I mean, that's fair game too, I guess, if you really want that location. But honestly, like, for example, let's talk Hollywood Boulevard. Somebody took over one like right away because it's in this kind of prime spot, and I was like, oh, I get it. You know, I looked at that and I was like, this is a good area too. But there was so much space to add them. So now, if a hunter comes down Hollywood Boulevard and there's 30 user vaults over the course of 2 miles, are they gonna like not get the one that's right next to the awesome spot or the one that's right next to the awesome spot? You're going to get all of those because you look at the street and you're like, oh my god, bop, 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 bop. You're going to grab everything. So yes, Squeamy, you can take them over. I just don't recommend doing it because it's kind of not the best move for everybody. It's the best move for one player, in my opinion. Obviously, I try to advocate and promote ideas that are beneficial to everybody. Not saying that that's not, I mean, completely fair game, Squeamy. Get those sweet locations. Because the long-term strategy, too, I mean, I did it myself, but I didn't take one over to do it, but I put a vault somewhere because it was a great location, knowing that it wouldn't be a great location for a while until the user base got really big. And then as more players join, those spots are going to get snapped up eventually. Absolutely. So you made that point already. Crashman, don't open regular vaults before placing your user vault. Then you can see if regular vaults disappear when you plant your flag. Yeah, exactly. And then if you do plant your flag, so that scenario that Crashman or Trash Tube just mentioned, basically, if you plan on placing a user vault next to an existing vault, don't open the closest regular blue vault next to it, because what he's saying and what the game does is that if you plant it and that vault disappears, you know that you're too close to it, and it will take it over if they approve it, and you can immediately kill that flag and move it a little bit further away. So once you plant it and it doesn't make that vault disappear, I believe is how it works, then you know you've moved far enough away and you can safely place it without taking that one over. And if you do take one over, do it in such a way where, like, you know, if you take it over, maybe you can move it a tiny bit and someone else could fit one in between because it was just, you know what I mean? I don't know. Just spitballing here. And Anakuro, we've heard that a notification will be added if you're about to place a UV that will remove a regular blue. We've been asking for that for a while. That would be great. An in-game feature that kind of notified you. If you're like, hey guy, are you sure you want to take this vault away and add yours? A lot of people would be like, oh wait, I didn't even know. So that's kind of why I wanted to create that little segment to discuss it. And then, wonder how long it takes for UV will pay for itself in resin. It's a great question. Stat Tracker 10.0. Whitmore Sycamore said he's more excited for vault auctions than the auction house. You know what I mean? That's I'm kind of excited equally for both, maybe more than for the auction house, just because I have so much stuff to get rid of. I'm very curious to see how it will go, but I 100% understand where you're coming from, because it's like a whole new way to, you know, it's just another game changer. It's another development in the game where you're going to have to figure out how not only to like navigate that as a thing that exists in the game, but to try to use it as a tool if it's something that you can use to, you know, for your strategy, whether it be whatever your strategy is, right? Taking over user vaults, selling user vaults, I don't know. Imagine just like if you know a well-placed one could sell for a ton and you need keys for a specific reason and you can just dump one. But that's, oh, so you know what? It's the auction won't be automatic. It's not like we trigger it. Isn't it going to be based on whether or not you tend to it? So it's going to be hard to like strategically sell them. But that is going to be a strategy, guaranteed, that some people do. It's a second order return because UVs get you keys, not resin. Yeah, so G1, exactly. So how long it pays for itself in resin? I mean, it's kind of quantifiable that way, right? Because you could technically see how much your own user vault gives you in resin, because you do get an increased rate of resin dropping when you hit a UV, and that includes your own UVs or your own user vault. So it's a good point. I'm trying to steal the Eiffel Tower someday. What do you mean steal it? Just go out there when Illusion Weaver does his Euro rollout. Duh. You know? Fly to Paris. It's completely normal to fly to Paris to stake a claim for a user vault in a game, right? Not really. Alright, so that was a good discussion. Thanks everybody for helping facilitate it. I hope that anybody who checked out that discussion on user vaults understands how to best utilize them within the game. And if not, jump in the Discord and talk to some people. They will square you away very quickly. So thanks again for everybody who jumped in and stopped by to relive the USA Independence Day event Red Vault with me, and then the throwback to May when the Hawaii event had the game's first ever Purple Vault, and I tackled that thing for $1,000 in Ethereum. If you haven't seen that video, watch it. It's pretty fun. And just before you watch it, it's real punched up. I didn't edit that one. I'm super basic when I do my stuff, but it's pretty fun. You should check it out. And until next time, keep stacking them sats. Bloc Boi out.